Alright, I've been on the internet. I've been on sites that have been defunct by the government, and I can't find a proper way to make gunpowder, black powder, that works like the commercial black powder. So the other day I was on the internet, right, and I saw this stuff called Armstrong mix, which is like you take match heads, and then you take them off and you make them into a powder, and then you grind off these sides of the matchbox, and it also forms a powder. And you put them together, the two powders, you put them together, you put them in foil, and then I made myself a cannon. I've been using firecrackers. Now some firecrackers are gonna blow that thing up, make it a pipe bomb. So I tried this Armstrong mix. Took me a little while to make a good quantity of it. But once I made the quantity, I put it, actually not a lot. I mean, it's like 35 grains, so about a 22 caliber, 0.22 caliber. That takes about 35 grains roughly. I put that in a foil and I put it in a cannon head, and I closed the cap and I put the fuse in, a homemade fuse, and I lit that thing. Oh, it sounded like I do a lot of shooting, and it went off like a cannon, like how could you say, a shotgun. It felt like a shotgun went off. And where is that pipe? Yeah, this is the type of size with the cap on the end. So this thing was sitting here with the cap. The cap blew off, by the way. This thing went off, and the police, there were 5 police cars at my house in like 10 seconds, because I live quite close to the police station. But that stuff worked, man. So I'm probably going to make some more of that. I've already loaded one now, which is, I made a large quantity. I used about 20 boxes, 20 match boxes, using the sides and the matches. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, you know, you got 1-to-1. So I made that, and I'm going to fire it off tomorrow, most probably. I can't show you this kind of stuff, because my brother wants to watch Jersey Shore. So I can't do all this, it'll take too long. But yeah, I also found another formula to making quite a good fuse. This fuse is like, it's pretty good. I would say it's the same as any other fuse that you can buy. So anyway, what you do is normally when you make gunpowder, you've got sulfur. Excuse the mess, by the way. Normally when you make gunpowder, you've got sulfur, and then you use charcoal. Then you mix the two together and you grind into a fine powder. Then you use KNO3, potassium nitrate. But now what I've done is I've taken match heads. I've got a bunch here that I still got to finish up. I take the match heads, and then I mix it with the sulfur and charcoal. That's it. Sulfur and charcoal and matches. That's it. And then you wrap it in foil quite tightly, like when you roll a joint. You roll it up and then you turn it. You must turn the whole fuse. So you got this one this long. You leave a little bit off on the ends, and you roll it, and then you compress it down really hard, and then you cut off the 2 ends, and then you can make it really thin. You put in, I used that, and I put it in the end of the cannon. Oh, that fuse was just perfect. Just went just like a normal fuse, and then bang, and cops were there and whatever. But that would be the best way to make a fuse from my point of view. Would be charcoal, sulfur, and matches. But the Armstrong mix, I've looked everywhere on the internet, and I can't find no proper way to make black powder at home that resembles commercial black powder. I mean, I've seen guys go through sieves and alcohol and pushing it through, making granules and black powder cookies and all that crap, and nothing works. It's all the same thing. 10 hours, I mean a little bit like that, and it burns for 10 hours. So I don't know. I just saw this video, Armstrong mix cracker. I clicked on it and I watched it, and this kid was busy chopping up matches, and I've seen it all before, you know, chopping up matches and whatnot. And I thought, well, let me just finish watching the video. And those are one of those videos that you like click, watch it later. Well, I don't want to watch it, it's boring. But I continued watching it, and I saw this cracker, just like, he made a piece of paper like this and he poured it in, and then he folded it over and folded it over and folded it over, and then duct taped it with a fuse in it, and went over it and that, and it's supposed to go bang, but it didn't really go bang. It just went shh, and that's how a commercial black powder should go. It should just go shh, 1 second, that's it. It should burn quite quick actually. And this also burned quite quickly. And I got the idea, maybe I should take this Armstrong mixture and put it in my cannon, my little pipe cannon that I made, and see if that works. And I did. I mean, I didn't even have a projectile in the barrel. I just had a piece of paper that I put in there, and I had the charge, and I put the fuse in. Oh my word. That thing went off so loudly, I even still got hearing problems on the side of my ear. But it worked really well. There was no compression or anything, and that thing blew up. And to think about it, it sounded like a shotgun or an animal. It was loud, and there was no compression at all. The only thing I did compress was the Armstrong mixture. That's the only thing I did compress. So it went off quite loud. It went bang heavily. 5 cop cars in my house. Obviously, it was a big bang. But yeah, I would recommend using the Armstrong mixture for a cannon. Not making homemade black powder and crap. If you want black powder, go to a shop, get your license and whatnot, and go and buy your own black powder, commercial black powder. That's about the only black powder that works. Any other homemade black powder shit won't work. The Armstrong mixture is going to take you a long time to make, but I think it's more volatile than black powder. Black powder doesn't go like this. Black powder, it's roughly about the same. Because I bought that. I've got black powder, but I want to know how to make it at home. It's cheaper. And it never works. You know, it's just a slow burn the whole time, you know. And I've looked everywhere on the internet and I can't find a proper source. So, yeah, I would recommend using the Armstrong mixture and using I'll show you what it looks like. I mean, you want to put enough sulfur and enough charcoal. It's probably like a 3 to 1. 3 charcoal, 1 sulfur, and then you would obviously have your foil, and then you would cut out a rectangular piece, and then you would lay it down and roll it up, and then twist it, and then, you know, you use your match heads as well. Match heads mustn't be big; they must be in a fine powder, just like the charcoal and the sulfur. But that works nicely. That's a beautiful burn. It's a messy burn, which is a fuse. If you look at a fuse, when a fuse burns, it's very messy and it's a slow burn because it's not so loose, but it's a very slow, proper burn. But yeah, Armstrong mixture, it works. Kill it.